Oh my lord. The guitar is crying. The keyboard's whining, and I think I got that backwards. But the Fleischer Forum is on the air. And we're getting ready. We're getting ready for some Fleischer, ladies and gentlemen. We got a healthy dose of Fleischer today. I got news for you. It's about 2.5 hours. Roughly. Maybe a little less. Who knows? We'll see. It's a lot. They had a full 4-hour docket, and it was, when I say full, I mean full. There was a lot going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your drinks ready. Get your snacks ready. We got a lot going on in the next 2 hours. Got a lot to talk about in the Fleischer Forum. And we're about to get started in just a couple of seconds. You see that guy right there? He's giving a few guys the blues in Harris, Texas.
All right, it's showtime. Ready?
Come on.
He says he's gonna tackle me.
I'm gonna be nice since
Get
it's
him.
not an arraignment.
Oh,
Just real quick, Judge, I've got Limonta on your docket. It's a registration situation. He's already asked for the registration. It'll take a couple more weeks apparently for him to get the registration
we're
on
at
the vehicle.
200 days, and what has he done?
He's already asked for it. They told him that it'll take a couple of weeks to get here. So we can just get one more reset. He's present in
That
court.
he's actually done?
Proof that he's,
Registered? That he's done anything? Because when you register, you got paperwork.
I didn't ask him for him. I didn't ask for it from him today.
Yeah, because
But-
when you do anything with the DMV, there's always paperwork somehow, either via email, receipt, whatnot. I mean, we've reset this case how many times for him to register, you know?
Understand?
Limonta, come up.
By the way,
Por acá, del otro lado.
Breaking the flow.
So,
¿Qué has hecho cerca de este caso?
Mandé a hacer las placas.
Prueba.
No, le mandé a la señora.
Cuando tú haces cualquier cosa con el DPS o DMV, te dan prueba. Un email, receipt, algo te dan. Muéstrame algo que tienes, que has hecho.
Pregunté a la señora que es la que me está tramitando la placa y me dijo que no tiene nada, que a ella no le dan información.
So,
Sí.
no has registrado entonces. Solamente hiciste una pregunta.
No registré.
Pruébamelo entonces.
Tengo mensajes de texto con la persona, la gente que me está haciendo el trámite.
Muéstramelo.
Ok, ¿puedo ir por mi teléfono?
I'm not going to take his word that he's just asking questions. I want some kind of proof that he's doing something, you know? Yeah, I mean, go get your boy, see what he's doing.
you want to bring back these? Oh, sorry.
Typically, Victor, as long as they start registering and you have proof,
No, I understand.
that's good enough.
My understanding is that he's going through somebody else to get the process done for him.
Ahí están los mensajes. Hasta cuando le hice el pago, mandé toda la información.
So I don't know if you want to see this, Judge. This is text message string. This is the inspection that he did that he sent to a lady who's doing the process for him.
Ayer mismo le pregunté si tenía.
So this is the actual registration?
That's the person who's doing the process for him. So he's sending her all the information. She's doing it for him.
I don't understand why he can't.
Whatever he feels comfortable doing, Judge, I don't know.
We got to put a time limit on this thing. It's
Understand.
200 days. I mean,
Understand.
it's,
I'm only asking for one more reset.
how long do you want?
My last person was reset to December the 17th.
That day, if it's not done, it's plea or trial. I'm not going to give you any more. Tú no tienes más tiempo para la próxima vez que tú regreses aquí. Si no lo tienes hecho en total, no me importa un coco que tienes que hacer. Jurado con juicio la próxima vez. ¿Entiendes, Méndez? Okay,
Understood.
all right.
Appreciate it.
SFBF, please, Jermaine.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yeah.
Ms. Zuniga on page 30 is the first one.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, happy hump day. Wednesday. So we have Ms., is it Magali Zuniga?
Yes.
Ms. Zuniga, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant weaving between lanes and disregarding a traffic control device on an exit ramp. The defendant stopped her vehicle in the middle of a moving lane of traffic on the entrance ramp to Katy Freeway, and upon contact, the officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and glossy eyes. The defendant admitted to drinking a couple beers and stated that her last drink was at 9 p.m. and that she believed the current time was 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. It was actually 1 a.m. Center field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 4 out of 4. The DIC was read and breath was refused. A blood warrant was signed and executed.
Okay. Can you look to see if there are any prior DWIs, please?
There are no prior DWIs, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Zuniga, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Can you get a license, Alex, please?
No.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Okay, you're not allowed to drive unless you have both, but I am now placing a restriction on you and your bond that you're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol and kind of illegal drugs, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
I understand.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with them, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. So don't get in any trouble. don't use, and just stay in contact and everything will be fine. All right. We'll have you sign a reset with Jermaine. We'll have you get with Fleischer for your bond conditions. And then after that, you guys are free to go.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Great to see you.
Mr. Adams on 2 is our next one, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just.
Morning, Mr. Adams.
Good morning.
Mr. Adams, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant's vehicle run a red light and travel 73 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. Upon contact, the officer observed a strong odor of marijuana and asked the defendant when he last smoked. The defendant stated, "You caught me, I just finished rolling one." The defendant then handed the officer the blunt, and then the defendant gave the officer 2 bags of marijuana, approximately 0.636 ounces of marijuana.
Did you say there was the odor of weed in the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Adams, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Sir,
Run his license, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Are you sure? Do you have car insurance?
yes, sir.
If you don't, you're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond, Mr. Adams. I want you to understand that I take it extremely serious. If you don't have car insurance, you get into an accident and you maim someone, they're going to come after you. Where if you have liability insurance, your insurance takes care of you for all those needs.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not putting any conditions on your bond. Just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Jermaine, sign a reset. After that, we'll just get you out of here. And when you come back, please have a
Thank
lawyer.
you.
Okay? All right, be careful, man.
Bowman. Page 5, Your Honor. Bowman.
Okay? Good morning, Ms. Bowman. Ma'am, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The complainant and the defendant are in a dating relationship and live together. On November 12th, 2024, the officer was conducting a neighborhood patrol and observed an on-view disturbance between a vehicle and a pedestrian. The complainant stated that he and the defendant got into a verbal argument. The defendant hit the complainant approximately 1 time and bit him approximately 2 times on his right bicep, causing pain. The officer observed visible injuries on the complainant's right bicep and his right upper eye. The defendant stated that she bit him because she thought he was going to hit her.
Okay, Ms. Bowman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you guys spoken to this person? Do we know whether he wants to continue to have contact with her or not? I'm sorry? Okay, don't say anything, please. I have a bunch of DAs here and everything that you say, they're going to use it against you. They sit there, type it, so just don't say anything at this point.
A rip was performed, Your Honor, and it.
So guys, CW is here if you want to try. Because unless I know that this person wants to have contact with you, I'm going to order you not to have contact with this person. It is a Kevin Callahan. Okay. That's Mr. Callahan with the beard.
Yes.
Right there. Okay. Regardless, even if he wants to have contact with you, I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with him. You need to understand what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It's what he perceives. So if I go like this, is that threatening, harassing? It is, and it can land you in jail. Do you understand? Do we know if alcohol had anything to do with this, Alex?
There's no allegation of alcohol, Your Honor.
The only other thing I'm going to advise you, Ms. Bowman, is that a protective order has been issued in this case. I would get to know the protective order because if you do something to violate that protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. And a violation of a protective order is one of the worst cases you can pick up in misdemeanor court. You understand? Okay. What do you do for a living?
Before she tells us what she does for a living, I have to do the perfunctory call-in pause because we just got a call-in raid. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to say thank you and welcome to all the call-in raiders. Welcome to the Fleischer Forum. We just got started a few minutes ago. We're just a few cases in, and we're going to keep going. Thank you for joining.
Right, a consulting company.
And what kind of money do you make a month?
If I keep my job, like 8,000.
Okay, we're going to give you time to hire a lawyer. You don't qualify for an appointed lawyer. So I'll have you sign a receipt with Jamae, and then we'll just have you take a seat in the jury box right now while we work out the kinks as far as the no contact order. Okay.
And just to throw this out there, no, if you make $8,000 a month, you probably don't qualify for a court-appointed attorney. And yes, Serena, you probably have a better word there with obligatory call-in pause. Call-in pause, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the call-in raiders. Gotta love Collins raids every single time. Now you got two pauses, two obligatory call-in pauses. This will never happen again. No more pauses for the rest of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. Welcome.
Please. First, we'll have you sign a receipt.
The next one, Your Honor, is going to be Mr. Cruz on page 8.
Harassing no way.
Yes, Judge.
Are you Xavier Luis Cruz? Mr. Cruz, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the vehicle failed to signal a lane change, and the officer detained all occupants in the vehicle because none were wearing seatbelts. The driver of the vehicle gave a verbal consent to search, and the officer searched the vehicle and located a black and red bag located on the right rear passenger floorboard where the defendant was seated. The officer located the following items: a clear baggie containing meth, ice, and Xanax, and 2 baggies and a scale, and 1 Glock 47.
See the driver?
He was the rear passenger, and that's where the bag was located, where he was seated.
Mr. Cruz, how old are you, sir?
18.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. You must come right back. When you come back, we'll talk about your lawyer situation. But if you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR mods. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Jamae. And then after that, we're just going to have you take a seat while we send you and then come right back. Don't leave.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Jenkins on 16 and 17 is our next one.
Blake Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with 2 counts of terroristic threat. Was he on bond for this case? And then he picked up a new case?
Yes, Your Honor, it appears so, that he was on bond for
He was literally on bond, and then a week later, he picks up a new case.
Can I say something?
Don't. Are you here with anyone today?
Sure.
Yes, just it appears correct. He was on bond and then he picked up the new case.
So as what I see, he picks up his first terroristic threat. We gave him a PR bond on November. So tell me if I'm wrong. So check this out. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it looks like both of these were just both 2Bs, meaning warrants had been issued, and he had not been picked up. This is Jenkins. And it looks like we picked him up all at one time, and he was given a PR bond on November 13th.
On the terroristic threat?
On both cases, they're both terroristic threats.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would have taken a month for him to get arraigned, so it must have been.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. There were.
Okay, so he was not on
No, he
bond.
was not. There were both 2Bs, Your Honor.
Now, do you guys know the relationship of Ryan Kalal?
He was just a member at the gym that the defendant attends.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and do probable cause on both cases.
Okay.
So Mr. Jenkins, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with 2 counts of terroristic threat. One is against a family member. So on that one, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Your other case is just against a garden variety civilian. So on that one, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
So for the terroristic threat involving a family member, the complainant and the defendant are brothers. The officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. The defendant was removing the complainant's belongings from the residence and putting them in the back of his own vehicle to prevent the complainant from getting his things. The complainant tried to remove his things from the back of the vehicle when the defendant stated, "I will kill you." The complainant was in fear for his life when the defendant said this. The defendant also later texted the complainant that if he touched his things again, that he would cause him severe pain. And then for the other terroristic threat on October 26, 2024, the officer was dispatched to Crunch Fitness in regard to a terroristic threat. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant, the manager at the gym, stated the defendant was involved in verbal and physical altercations with other members and multiple complaints were filed. The complainant stated that the defendant's membership was canceled due to the issue with other members and the defendant making threats. The defendant then continued acting aggressively after finding out this information and caused a disturbance by screaming and cursing loudly. The complainant told the defendant he needed to leave and not return. The defendant became more agitated, left the business, but returned multiple times. The complainant stepped out with the defendant and told the defendant repeatedly not to return. The defendant responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
All right. So Mr. Jenkins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. I'm now ordering you on both of your cases not to have contact with each of those witnesses and not to go where they either live or where they work. Do you understand? In the first case against your brother, a protective order has been issued. So I would get to know that protective order because if you violate the protective order, They will file additional charges against you. You violate those conditions, I can hold you at no bond, 0 bond until this case is over with. And I want you to know that I will protect every single person of Harris County by all means necessary. And if that means putting you in jail, locking you up at a $100,000 bond, $50,000 bond, 2,000, whatever it may be, it's gonna happen. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well. You're not to go back to Crunch Fitnesses also. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You pick up any known cases, violate even 1 iota of these conditions, I'm gonna keep you with me. And I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna be high. And if you don't have anyone to pony up that kind of money, $10,000 to get you out, you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until these cases are over with. And I'm gonna tell you, it takes damn near 9 months just to get a 911 tape. Do you understand? How old are you? What do you do for a living?
I worked in catering and then now I'm doing solar. So I'm a sales representative.
What kind of money you make a month?
I haven't made any money. Right now I'm living off unemployment checks because the money I had from my last job ran out and the money that I'm making on my new job is all commission. So I have to close the deal before I have any income.
Who are you living with?
I'm actually living in my car at the moment.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application for an appointed, actually, let me see your name. On this application, you says your spouse's salary is $10,000 a month. What does that mean?
My what?
It says under spouse's salary, $10,000. You make a total income of around $11,000 a month.
Did I fill that out? I didn't fill that out.
I'll have you fill out a new one then.
Okay.
So you're living in your car.
Yes.
How is that?
I mean, it's fine as long as it's not too high.
Bologna. Sucks. Sucks to live in your car, doesn't it?
I mean, I don't have any money, so I mean, it's better than the street.
What I'm trying to tell you is that when you're living in someone's house, under their roof, don't bite the hand that feeds you, because
It was my brother that I got it.
register what I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Jenkins. If you're under someone else's roof and they're kind enough to take you in, when you bite the hand that feeds you or burn a bridge, you never know when you may need to cross that bridge. Now you've burnt a bridge, you can't even cross that bridge. You're living in a car. Living in a car sucks. So be nice. It's not hard, especially when you're living under someone else's roof. It's not that hard. And if you get into an issue where you fight with someone or you're upset, walk away, find another release. Do you understand what I mean? It's not hard. Be nice. Would you mind giving an application? I'm gonna have you fill out this application because I need to know everything about you as far as money wise. I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Jermaine, and then I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box where we get all your orders ready and while I find you a lawyer, okay? Okay,
So I'll
That one.
be having court today.
yeah, I'm gonna have you talk to a lawyer today. So don't leave until I excuse you.
Our last one, Your Honor, is Mr. Walker on 28.
So on both of those, no contact, no weapons, and no going to Crunch Fitness and please.
Yes, Judge.
You, Johnny Walker. Mr. Walker, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officers were dispatched to a minor accident in Harris County, Texas. The defendant provided the officer with his driver's license, which returned as not eligible. The officer noted that the defendant's license has a mandatory suspension with no lift date. The defendant also admitted to not having insurance on the vehicle.
Mr. Walker, do you have a Texas driver license?
Not a license ID, I have.
You're not allowed to drive. If you drove here, you're not allowed to drive home. I will have you now sign an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't know what you're doing in your life. I don't care who you're talking to, what you need to do. Nothing at all can ever now justify you getting into a car and driving. If you do, this is an affidavit. you are in violation of the affidavit, and I can have a hearing to hold you in contempt of court and slap you with an additional 6 months jail and a $500 fine every time you drive, because it's an offense in and of itself. So if you drive 5 times, I will have 5 contempt hearings. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk, and I will happily take this off. But if I find that you drive, there will be HE double hockey sticks to pay.
Your Honor, the defendant said he has questions.
About an occupational license, what, do you have any information like it?
I cannot give you legal advice.
Okay.
What I would do, first and foremost, is go get your license. That's what you need to do. So you need to really do the legwork, call DPS, and find out what you need to do. Don't take a half-ass approach, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take the easy way out, and that's not the way to do it. You need to call DPS. I will even give you the number to DPS for you to call. That's the number to the driver's license division to DPS. When you call them at 7 o'clock sharp, as soon as the phone line's open. Don't call at 7:02, 9:05, 1:42, because you will never get through. I'm telling you this from past experience. The only time I ever got through was to call right when the phone line's open, which is at 6:59 to 7 o'clock, because then you'll get through to be able to talk to someone. Call them and say, okay, this is my number. This is who I am. What do I need to do to get my license back? Has it been more than 2 years since you've had a license? Then you're going to have to retest. You'll probably have to take the driver's test. You'll probably have to take a written test just to get it back, not to mention surcharges and everything like that.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now is I'll have you sign this affidavit promising us you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Jamay to sign a reset, and then we're going to get you out of here. And when you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
Is he there? Still there.
Yeah.
Ramon Justin?
Yes.
Picked up a new charge.
How do you even get out of jail?
And that's for both.
A decent explosion.
No. In custody?
Yep.
I mean, you gotta, just. Let's do PC. Is he here?
Yeah, you do.
Let's do PC. Come on. Is he, you got him?
I have him. I just wait. For whenever
You have justice, don't you?
Yeah, he's on tomorrow, right? Do you?
No, you're representing, he picked up a new charge.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. Are you ready?
Well, I'm here
Come on
already.
up.
I'm here for a plea, but.
Let's do your plea, and then we'll do, if you don't mind bringing him out.
Okay.
Yeah, who's your plea?
Roberto Guerra.
Okay, do you want to bring him up?
It's a reckless driving, 3
Got it. So we're doing, you say 3-1?
3-2.
3-2.
Good morning, Mr. Guerra. Are you sure that you want to do this?
Sir.
You got to understand that if I remember correctly, you had a business where it was a moving business, right? You moved pianos or
Pool table, sir.
pool tables.
Sir.
You got to understand, by doing this, your insurance is going to go up, and it may go up just, dramatically, especially if you're in the business of commercial driving.
Understand, sir.
Was this the only offer that was available?
Yes, Judge. He does have history, so this is kind of the best bet for us. He has been not driving since the start of this case. So he's been, because he signed a no driving affidavit. But I think, yeah, this is,
There's no deferred, no probation officer?
deferred. He does have, he's been to TDC, he,
Okay. Gotta understand, you just gotta be careful. This life is but one. The more convictions you get, as you see now, the worse it becomes. Everything in life is about one thing, money. Everybody wants money, including the state. And the more cases you pick up, the more they're gonna hit you for money here, money there, and you never know where it's gonna come from. Here, it may be insurance, you know? You have to have insurance, especially for moving pool tables. God forbid, something happens where someone drops a pool table on someone and it kills them, breaks a foot, breaks a leg. All that is covered by insurance. So I hope and I pray that you have insurance for what you're doing, because if not, it could really come back to bite you in the boo-boo. You know what I mean? So, all right. So you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail. Credit for the 2 days that you've done. It will go and it will end up as a conviction on your record. I mean, if you want to try to do something else, your case isn't, it's old, but I can give you a little bit more time, because it's a lifetime decision that you make today, Mr. Guerra, meaning that once you plead guilty, you're stuck with this forever. You can never come back and change this. You give up the right to appeal. So you can't like target, well, you know what? I want to return it. I don't like it. It's, you understand? So you still want to do this. So how do you plead to the officer, guilty or not guilty? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. Are you on probation or parole now? Okay, if you're on probation or parole, this can be used to revoke that, resulting in further confinement. So, all right, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, good luck, sir. I wish you the best and just stay out of trouble.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
guys.
thank you, Judge.
We'll roll your court costs so you won't owe anything as well. Okay, just be careful.
Sir.
Go down to the first floor, you just have to turn this in.
Yeah,
First floor next to the elevator.
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Mr. Guerra. It can't be. I mean, you're still representing him, right? No, it
So that's what I'm
attracts,
saying.
it attracts to. And it's okay, because Jermaine may not have known that he was representing him, you know. Please. How are you, Mr. Justice? Well, you picked up another case, man. Shh. You now stand charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes. On November 13th, 2024, at the Harris County Sheriff's Office Jail, the complainant, a detention officer, witnessed the defendant pull his pants down, grab his erect penis, and look directly at the complainant as he moved his hand in an up and down motion while holding onto his penis. The defendant was restrained and placed in a separate cell, and when he was brought back, he exhibited aggressive behavior and threatening behavior to the complainant.
Who's the complaining witness?
A detention officer,
Sure. Just give me a last name.
Last name is Castellano,
Okay. Female?
female, yes.
Okay. Mr. Justice, I'm going to order you as a condition, or as a condition of your bond, not to have any contact with this detention officer whatsoever. Do you understand? I'm going to sign a court order. I don't know how we're going to do this, you know? Stephen, how do you?
They might have to just move them off the floor where this detention officer is normally assigned to.
Okay, because I don't want you to have any contact and I don't want you to engage in this behavior again. I don't want to have to put you in ag-sag. Do you know what that is? Yeah, that's where you're literally by yourself 23 hours a day. If I find that you're pick up any more cases, exhibit this type of behavior, I'm going to order you to put into ag-sag. We've done it with another person and they literally sit by themselves in a one-person cell for 23 hours a day, and they let them out for 1 hour a day. Consider when you're at the jail, behave yourself, Because if I find it continues again, that's it. Do you mind filing those bond conditions?
Yes, Judge, no contact.
Yeah, no contact with the jailer, the whole name on the order,
Yes,
and then no weapons as well, and then we'll have him sign it, and then I'd like it filed so that the jail knows. I don't know. Well, okay.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Justice, I'm gonna have you speak with Connor here. We're gonna figure out how to go forward. Do you know, yeah, have you looked anything about the felony so far? Have you?
No, we were in here a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry, Judge, I haven't looked at this
Okay.
since, but, yeah, we were just waiting on that. It didn't look like there was even an offer on there yet.
No, there is an offer. 4 years, right?
This is for TDC.
For TDC?
I don't see an offer on the felonies, Your Honor.
Really? I thought there was an offer. We'll set it for the day after the felony, and then we'll come back. So,
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
all right, Mr. Justice, behave yourself, man. Okay, Mike, what was your gentleman's name? Oh, Burrows, right? Come up, Mr. Burrows.
Also, we did I was in the process of appealing this on Friday. I was going back and forth with Nathan.
Appealing.
Appeal for a pizza. And
Oh, so they denied him?
No, we're almost there. He took the decision, and then this came, so I just, I'm waiting, I gotta talk to you. I told him about this on Friday, and he drove straight to the pretrial services. I think that's- But that's what's going on. I'll let him just tell you.
So, but I don't understand what you're saying about appealing. What are
No,
you?
I'm doing a P-tip appeal because he's not necessarily allowed to P-tip what the situation is, so I did.
You mean you're doing a mitigation package?
I already did it. Everything's turned in. I did everything, mitigation packet.
They said yes.
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't
So
know?
we're going back and forth, and then I stopped that because I literally, I got that report right then and there. I was going back and forth with Nathan on Friday.
Do you guys have any guidance on Burrows? It looks like he's filed for the diversion program for the DWI.
Amanda? Are you,
Just whether he's been accepted into the program.
no, are you Amanda? I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Okay.
She works for the recovery unit.
Okay.
So I believe that Nathan he was waiting because there was a previous DWI that was filed out of county, and he was waiting to receive the OR from that previous DWI. Because we don't know, it might have been dismissed.
No, it was dismissed. I gave him the dismissal paperwork, and it was because there was nothing on
But
it.
I still have to know too, so I can take the appropriate action as far as bond condition.
I'm
You know?
happy to email
Go ahead.
Nathan right now. I think we just received the OR this morning
Where from and when?
from Galveston County. Let me look for the judge.
This case has been open since June. And I'm just now finding out that he had.
I didn't know it either because he thought it was expunged because it says interest adjustments, no evidence for DWI, basically. It was like, he had no, it was nothing, just got thrown out. So that being said, he said he didn't do anything. That's whatever, that's that, but
Yeah, I think it had been, I think that we are all in agreement that it was dismissed. I think Nathan just wanted the copy of the offense
What
report.
year was it?
1 second, Judge. Yes, Judge, the DWI is from 2019.
Yeah, I probably would have put an interlock on him.
but the reasoning on the dismissal, he put it on there.
And now he's still consuming alcohol, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. He's here to tell you, I don't believe that's the case. He swears up and down he didn't. He puts,
Have a scram.
I understand that. And he puts some like crazy amount of makeup on him, and the alcohol, I gave you the pictures of it also. It's called alcohol, what's it called? Hang on, he can explain it to you, but I have it right here.
I have pictures of,
The nature of alcohol can be mistaken for alcohol consumption. I know.
I have these pictures. It has no date. It
I
has
know,
no,
to give you context to it, I have the dates here. Those are just pictures of the close-up makeup, but he was DJing on those particular dates. And I have it right here because I was trying to get it in the club.
and I guess drinking while DJing, right?
No, he said he wasn't. I mean, you talk to him. I wasn't there. It was DJ Sidney Ray, October 31st at this place, and that was the day in question. And then this is October, this one, I'm sorry,
Okay, so
October 27th.
I have here that you're consuming alcohol. I have here that the consumption is October 26th,
Yeah, that's the, I believe it's
October 30th,
in November 9th.
November 9th. Oh, and October 9th. So
That was, yeah.
I have 4 different events that you're consuming alcohol.
So for October 9th, Your Honor, that was whenever you told me to put the scram on, and I put the scram on right after that. And then those other 3 dates.
So you're allegedly consuming alcohol the day I tell you to put it on.
No, he did it that's the day and then he put it on. No, that's the violation. We addressed that.
I have a positive for alcohol on the 9th of October.
Not from the scramble. Okay.
Yes.
October 26th.
I sent him on 10/9. So Felicia,
Yes, Judge.
so we sent him for a POC test on 10/9 on that time. Did he test positive for alcohol?
Yes, Judge.
Why on earth are we just now getting the violation?
The violation
No.
was already addressed.
That was addressed.
Yes, that violation was already addressed in a previous BVR. They started to put it in that section, that's why I didn't highlight it, but I
Did I
don't,
address that BVR?
yes, and that's when we amended the conditions to put a scram.
Okay, so now we have alcohol consumption as a second violation on top of all this.
For the scram itself.
I've been very grateful for the second chance you gave me. That was from the makeup that I applied to myself, and I was just ignorant to the fact that that would actually set off my scram device, but I have not consumed another alcohol beverage at all. Those are also the days that I was working, I was entertaining, I did not consume another alcohol beverage at all, so I've been very grateful. I'm not stupid, I wouldn't consume another alcoholic beverage after you put the scram device. in the
Mr.
cell.
Burrows, I told you at every single stage of this game, do not put anything into your body that could be positive for alcohol. It is your responsibility to know what you can and cannot use. You're old enough to know that actions have consequences.
Yes,
And
sir.
here we are. I've already let you go one time with a positive for alcohol. When I told you not to consume, you literally tested positive on the day that we sent you for the test. And now we have another 3 positives for alcohol.
I don't think that's all, that's the part, the other parts, yeah, but the first part, that's not, he didn't test positive.
He tested positive 10/9.
No, that was,
It was a positive urinalysis test, and because of that, we amended the.
And because of that, I amended the conditions. I did not put him in jail. I put the scram on him.
yeah, but we addressed that he didn't go in and like.
I got it.
It's not 2 tests, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
You're right.
but he's continuing to consume.
So, yeah.
Stephen,
The scram reports are also in your email, I'm not sure if you viewed them, but we got the notice of the records as well for all of those dates.
have you seen that?
I have whatever I was sent yesterday.
That's it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bros. What am I supposed to do? Just let you go again?
No, sir, I'm not asking to, and I did not consume any alcohol. It was just yes, sir. The products that I put on, and I just was not aware that that was set off that. And it was makeup, sir. That's all it was. I didn't consume an alcohol beverage at all.
That party is 10:31 and I have here 10:26, 10:30. And you're telling me that you put this makeup on November 9th? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, sir. It's for my TikTok, and I have the videos of it also, sir. I do cosplay, and I just put on those products, and that was the sweat from it. I had no idea that that would actually get inside my blood system and and set that off.
You have levels?
Yes, they're in the scram report.
What is it?
I have.
It's like a peak of 0.08 and then.
He's a 0.08.
Yes.
You're telling me that makeup made you a 0.08?
Yes, sir. And those are the days I was at work.
I don't believe it for a second.
I even have
I don't believe it for a second. I'm sorry. An
Understand.
0.08 because of makeup?
Yes, sir. I understand. I promise you I have not consumed alcohol at all.
I'm sorry, dude.
I
That's
understand.
it.
Yes, sir. I understand.
With you?
I understand, yes, sir.
Can't possibly believe that makeup is going to make you as intoxicated as having 6 to 8 drinks. Sorry, Mike. Of course. But where's mom? Are you mom? Come on up, mom. Thank you so much for coming. I want you to understand that the last time we were here, your son tested positive for alcohol, and I told him that there was absolutely just no tolerance. And I advised him to know what you put in your body, because it doesn't matter if you test positive. I go through a whole spiel: tequila, lollipop, hair dye, just cakes, candies, foods, gums, energy drinks, whatever it may be. You test positive, I'm going to end up revoking your bond. We've already asked him once. I put a monitor to ensure that he's not consuming alcohol. This is not the first time we were here with the DWI. We're here yet again on another one. I understand that the other one was dismissed, but I guess it wasn't enough to catch his attention. And now we're here yet on another one, and he's continuing to consume. And it's not just once, it's not twice, it's not thrice, it continues to happen. So as a result, I have to show him that we mean business. And as a result, I have to put him in custody.
I've been on him, and I know hasn't been drinking, but, I can argue, but I know he hasn't drank.
He has to know that you're on bond for a very serious case. We've asked you and told you not to use anything that has alcohol in it. And I cannot believe that makeup will cause you to be a 0.08. That's literally the legal limit, 0.08. That's usually someone consuming, a typical drink is around 0.02. So to get to a 0.08 in whatever, based on time frame and everybody's different, but it's a lot. So I'm sorry, man. That's why we put him in. Mike, I'll set the bond at 5,000. I don't know, what's it at now? Okay, I'll set it at 5,000 too. So it's not. Hi.
3 of them with Chisholm, but there's a due.
She's here.
You have to do 2 first.
Miss Oko.
Muted. Good morning, Judge. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I think we've got 2 or 3 of them this morning. But I think the first one would be Mr. Thurman.
No, Amy's working on Thurman. It's gonna have to be
Mr. Damon.
And,
Yeah, Jamin Dalen.
and then the other one is a waiver that you agreed he's got to come up and sign. Miss Udo has to wait because she's in the female unit, so she can't be brought out at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And Ms. Udo, did we get anything back from the AG's office?
I did. I'm gonna be opposed for like 3 different reasons, but we'll get to that in a second. Because you'll probably want to be for this one or for that one.
You bring someone out?
Well, I think Steven's working on the first 2.
So Damon looks like a little kid, man. He looks like he's 15, huh?
Actually, well, that's part of the issue. He's a juvenile.
That's part of the issue. Yeah, and he hit 18. He just hit 18.
Well, and I want to explain once he comes out is he's not eligible for a bond, but I'll get to
You sign waiver?
No, he's under the ICJ. So because it's a juvenile compact agreement, it's the same as the ICA agreement for adults, is the juveniles fall under the same provisions. However, because he turned an adult now, is that an adult waiver can comply with the fugitive juvenile case. However, if he refuses, we have to do a requisition from the defendant jurisdiction. So that's why he wanted a bond, and he's entitled to ask for one, but I'm going to requisition just the same as still be held. So.
Morning, gentlemen. Both of you, well, let's see. So we're doing a waiver on this gentleman.
Mr. Johnson is a waiver, and then Mr. Demond.
Yes. Yes. All right. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. All right, Mr. Johnson, you are wanted out of Rutherford, Tennessee for a violation of a protective order. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? Okay, we wish you the best of luck. Now, is it Mr. Damon?
Damon?
Damon. So it's Damon is your last name.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Damon, you are wanted out of, I think it's Sacramento, right?
Yes, Judge, he's wanted for
Yes, Judge.
robbery and minor violating laws of defining crime. But because he was a juvenile at the time of the offense and a juvenile court has jurisdiction in Sacramento County, is that under the ICJ, he's not eligible for the bond because it is the equivalent to the adult interstate compact agreement. However, because he is an adult now, if he signs a waiver, just as any other non-minor would, is that it would comply with the ICJ for waiving. However, if he refuses extradition, then we will requisition the demanding jurisdiction to come get him the similar way that we would for a governor's warrant. But it will go through the ICJ system and not through the typical.
It's not gonna.
Because it was one of those, it's an unusual part because they're supposed to be detained in the juvenile separate, but because he committed an offense as an adult, he was originally held in the adult detention center, which is appropriate because when he was charged.
Yeah, but is it
now that
one of those issues where the compact gets involved and
It is, but
it's gonna take forever just to get them out?
well, they have a shorter span for extraditing juveniles. I can't give you a time frame because it's when they submit the form, they have 5 days. I don't know how long that takes and I don't want to lie, just making up a time. And so it's whenever the form is submitted, but they're generally very expeditious because there's not as many juveniles that are extradited. And so just by sheer
Have you,
numbers.
Ms. Chisholm, have you spoken to Mr. Damon here?
Yes, I have. And he, like I said, he's just 18. He just graduated out of high school and plans to go to PV. Had plans to go to PV, I believe.
To do what?
He had plans to go to PV Prairie View. So, and for him, this is coming out of left field for him. So, I'm not entirely sure if we can get a time frame since he's not eligible for a waiver. Is that what I'm hearing, Mr. Day?
No, eligible for a bond.
I'm sorry, for a bond. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Right, because the warrant was from 2023, but then he picked up an evading and that was dismissed. And then he picked up a unlawful carrying of a weapon charge and that's still on bond, but it's still open. And so it didn't trigger until the second one made bond.
I would have a problem giving an 18-year-old a bond because I don't know how he would even get back to California. When I was 18, I didn't have a pot to piss in, you know? Much less get a ride all the way to California, you know? It'd be tough. I mean, have you spoken to any family members, Ms. Oko?
I've got his mom's name is Maisha. I've not been able to reach out to her. Not just yet. But that's the only person that I've got so far for him. So unless he has another number for me to call.
Because I can't imagine he has money to, you know.
And regardless, it's one of those, the cart before the horse, because he can't make the bond because he's uneligible because of the compact between the states. And
there's a lot of things at play now, Mr. Damon. One of the things that you have to understand is that you are a flight risk because you have a fugitive case from California. You're wanted out of California. So even if I set you a bond now, you would probably have to make almost 100% of it. There's no 10%, there's no 20% because you have a fugitive case. So it's not your typical bond that you would have. Not only that, if I were to set you a bond and you make it, we give you 2 weeks from the day that you're released to make it all the way back up to Sacramento. You're 18. I don't know if you have a means of being able to do that. And I don't know who you have in your life that's able to do that. But regardless, even with all that said, because you were a minor when all this happened, the interstate compact comes into play. And that may even prevent me from even setting a bond in this case. Okay. So there's a lot to figure out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go back, talk to your lawyer, and then
right. If he chooses not to waive today and he wants to refuse extradition, then I have to contact our liaison, who we have at the local offices here, and they will contact the offices out in California to start the requisition form to bring him over.
Basically, what we do here is we don't fight the underlying case. Like you're charged with robbery, you're also charged with another case out of Sacramento. What happened there, what's going on, that doesn't matter. The only thing that we're concerned about here is, are you Mr. Damon? That's what we fight here, identity, so to speak. So when people waive, it's, hey, that's not me. You know, I'm a different John Smith. You know, here are my fingerprints, yada, yada. And so we try to figure out that. So that's what's going on here. Okay. If you refuse to waive extradition, We give that jurisdiction a limited amount of time to come pick you up. And if they don't come pick you up, we release you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you refuse extradition, if you refuse to waive, then essentially they're going to go back and they'll either get a governor's warrant, or because it's with the interstate compact, it's something completely
It's a different
different.
system. It's a requisition. It's equivalent to a governor's warrant in terms of forcing
And
extradition.
then that usually takes, are we still talking the 90 days?
I really don't know. That's why, because the last one was within a week. I mean, it's very, very quick, because again, there's not a lot of, interstate extradition for juveniles. And so it's a much, much smaller pool of people.
Because you were juvenile at the time and then turned the age of majority. It's a mess. Okay, so I'm gonna have you go back. I'll have you talk to your lawyer. You guys tell me what you want to do, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and then I'll have her advise you. Okay, all right, guys. Good luck,
Yes,
Mr.
I'll,
Johnson.
I'll talk to him in a second.
Right, so 2 weeks from today. Okay, okay, guys.
Chisholm, did you need the other one out too?
Udo, the child support one?
Yes, please. So that way, yes, you said you had other issues, Mr. Day?
Yeah, financial feasibility and the date of the warrant and the fact that I have now discovered she was aware of the warrant.
Alan. Hey.
Would you be willing to give me on an off-docket matter?
Of course.
This is regarding Marvin Riggins. He came up.
I need a cause number.
Oh, I do
Please.
apologize. Let me
That's
pull it
okay.
up right now. Cause number 253-7938.
Riggins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Regarding PC, I have some issues with it. What the call came in as was a suspicious person standing around a vehicle. Individual just standing there. The officer then goes to do a investigation, does a pat down of the individual, finds a clicker. I'm trying to see how do we get from basically standing there around the vehicle.
We do this. Let me talk to her and then we'll do a full PC hearing.
Gotcha.
Right after. Okay, sure. Ms. Oko. Dave, what was her last name?
Miss Okoronkwo Udo is her first name. Yes, Judge, I'm here. Okoronkwo.
That was the last name or the first name?
Last name.
First name is
Oh, I see it, I see
Okoronkwo.
it. Udo.
Yes.
They have it backwards in the system. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, sir.
You speak English, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it looks like, ma'am, you are wanted out of the state of Jackson, Michigan for failure to pay child support.
I was shocked that, I was shocked when I found out that they have the warrant, which if I knew, I would have done something to take care of it. So I was unaware that they had that. for
Well,
me.
I gotta be remiss that they don't file child support warrants until it's just at the end of the line where they've told them over and over. They don't just willy-nilly file child
It
support
was being
warrants.
taken out from my pay stub. All of a sudden it stopped. I went to my employer to find out why it wasn't taken. They said it wasn't them that stopped it. So I assumed that they stopped it themselves. So I had that's why I was clueless about it.
And that was my thought process too, Judge. She was getting it garnished. So it's stopping out of the blue. She didn't really know why it stopped.
It doesn't stop out of the blue. There's gotta be, and
And she doesn't have the power to stop it
Regardless-
either.
Regardless, we're not here to fight the underlying case. You're wanted for failure to pay child support, and I think that you have something else.
Well, part of it is the feasibility for her returning because and it's not irony, but in terms of how much she owes and her feasibility to return to cure the warrant in 2 weeks. I spoke with someone in their AG's office and the warrant's been issued out since 2020. The garnishment is correct and the last garnishment was in 2023, but because of the way the mechanism of garnishment works is that she was aware of the warrant at the time, and that's what they claim. But regardless, she is currently in arrears of $41,800. And so for whatever bond the court sets, right, the issue is the feasibility for her actually to return. Now, I'm not opposed to setting a bond, but obviously because of the date of the warrant, the fact that she didn't take care of it for 4 years, that does present an issue. And so with all that, I'm not sure that, I mean, because if it's just a setting up to fail, then that doesn't help anybody, right? And so, like I said, I'm not opposed to a bond, but I'm just not sure the feasibility of.
Let me ask you this. Are they really gonna come and spend $4,000 to come get her on a child support case
She
regardless?
sent a voicemail to me, and that's why I stepped out for a second, is she said they want her held at no bond, and they said they're gonna come get her because of the sheer amount of the arrears.
Really?
41,000, apparently it's enough for, there's a voicemail right now that they just called my desk line, it goes to my email, still want her. So unless something changes from, 3
Soko,
minutes
what
ago.
say you?
Well, Your Honor, it is child support. I mean, if it was something, I'm not sure how we know she knew about the garnishment and about the warrant itself. This is something that she was paying before it was being garnished, and if I don't believe she knew that she had a warrant out for her arrest. I'm not sure she knew. I don't know how Mr. Day
Well,
is able
when you
to-
owe around $41,000, I gotta imagine that that there's gonna be an issue.
Well, yeah, and I don't have the paperwork, and that's why I just, obviously, if you want the paperwork from the AG's office, because I'm just getting that from their office, is that she was aware. I don't have documentation, like notices, because they sent them out, they send them out for that, but I can get that if you want, if that's.
Are you here in Houston?
I live in Houston.
One of the main issues I guess I would also have if I set a bond, typically we set bonds that are on $500 to $7,500, but me setting a bond and you paying that bond, because you're going to probably have to pony up 100%, could go toward paying a substantial amount of that child support down. So are we,
And Your Honor, I'll
how's that
talk to her.
fair? Huh?
I'll go talk to her to see if it's something that she's able to make, which we spoke before, and she's not able to come up with $7,000. She works with the elderly. She's a sitter for the elderly. So she's a caretaker.
I mean, she may have a halo on top of her head and work for Jesus, but
no,
still owes $41,000
no.
kids.
Just I was telling her what she does for a living, not in terms of morality, but just what she does. She does make money, and that's not even, I don't believe it's enough to pay a $7,000 bond. She did give me some contact information for her son. And so I just wanted to see if there was a bond that could be set, and if possible, if there's someone that can help her make it, because she does have a job, and her sitting in jail is not going to help her do anything, whether pay the bond or pay child support.
What say you?
I'll stand down and figure out what's feasible. Like I said, I'm not opposed to a bond, I just.
All right, I guess you guys see if there's something you guys can agree to, but I'm going to tell you now that I'm not going to continue to play this game. You gotta pay. I mean, that money's for children. It's for kids. And kids need food, clothes, money to live. And when you have that kind of arrearages, I don't find it very fair when we set you a bond to get you out, but yet those kids don't get the money that should be going to them. How's that fair?
My daughter has been living with me since she was 13 years old, and I don't think they stopped maybe adding that to the child support. I've been taking care of her.
And you need to go back and tell them, hey guys, she's living with me.
Write them, and they didn't do anything about that.
So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna have you take it back. You guys see if there's something that you can agree to, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Day, I'm gonna call you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Come on.
Again, this is a off docket matter.
Yes. Alex, did you get it?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Morgan, did you get it so you can hear it? He wants to do PC on a BMV. So I guess Alan, obviously he thinks that there is no PC, right?
Yes, at the time of when the call.
I want them to read it, but. Okay, ready? Riggins.
Yes. Just one moment, Judge, so I can pull it up.
For what it's worth, he's currently in custody on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yes.
looks like he picked it up 5 days after picking up the BMV. So,
And I spoke to defense about this case earlier before he approached. I told him if he has an issue with PC, we can go up to you and.
do you think there's PC?
I think there's PC.
Okay.
But I'll defer to the court, Judge.
Reasonable minds can differ, right?
Yes.
So, let's see.
Okay. Let me make sure, yes, this is the DMV, don't want to read the other one. On November 9th of 2024, officer was dispatched to an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas regarding a suspicious person call. The complainant flagged the officer down and stated that the defendant had been around her vehicle all day and thought the defendant was the person who jabbed a metal makeshift spear into her front bumper, went inside her unlocked vehicle and stole a car garage opener clicker. The officer located the defendant and a pat down of him revealed the garage opener clicker on his person.
Okay, so hold on a second. He just goes up to him and starts searching?
No, she believed that it was him. She told
Right,
the
so what's to
officer.
say, I just don't go up to some Joe Schmo, go up to an officer, go, hey, man, he's messing with my car. And then does that give the officer right to go up and start searching?
Well, Judge, she must have believed because she was very certain about it.
She never identified him as the individual that broke into the car.
If she saw him go in and she can say, hey, man, I saw him go in. But that's like me going to your house outside the apartment and go, hey, man, an officer, I've seen her there all day. It's just her word saying that. I mean, there's nothing else.
Well, Judge, I have not been able to speak to her yet, because I just need more detail regarding how exactly she knew for certain that it was him, because she was very confident about it. I think, and they found the materials on his person.
They found a
understand that.
garage clicker. They didn't find there's nowhere in this report identifies that garage clicker belonged to her. They found a garage clicker. I have a garage clicker. I'm sure many people in this room have garage
Yeah,
clickers.
so Judge, I just want to be honest with the court. The offense report does say that she did not see him go into her vehicle. So I just want to be candid with the court.
Yeah, no,
So you're not finding PC, Judge?
I'm gonna find no PC.
Okay, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll do an order now. Counsel, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Kind of taking it all in. Mine's easy.
How are
I
you?
got a plea this morning. I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, I've got I qualified for a government check as of last week. So I think I'm gonna defer it for another 2 years though.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jerome, I haven't sworn him in, Judge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need to bring him up so he can sign it. or-
Yes, sir.
And sign. What?
It's for time served.
Yeah, but it's,
With the court's blessing it is.
man, that office is bipolar. You know what I mean? They're bipolar.
Jerome Durham.
You said Durham is the last name?
No, this is Jerome Durham. I hope what page that on. I don't know.
All right, good morning, Mr. Durham. Mr. Durham, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. Is this what you want to do? You have to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. With your record, you got to understand, every time you get pulled over, they're going to harass you. Your record, it just speaks for itself every single time. And now with the DWI on your record, you get pulled over, whatever funky smell you may have in the car, whether it be alcohol, whether it be dope, whatever, they're going to harass you, they're going to harangue you, and it's probably not going to go well. So if I were you, for the rest of your life, even if you have a sip of alcohol, even the toke off of a spliff or whatever, you get into a car, it's always going to end up in bad news. How much money have you given Mr. Nolly? $20. One button will get you a car, take you wherever you want to go, man. Uber is the greatest thing in the entire world, man.
It's not cheap anymore, Judge. But it's still cheaper than me. It's cheaper than me, Judge.
I'm going on a date this weekend with my wife. I haven't done one in a long time. And I'm going to take an Uber because I want to drink like a fish. That's the way we do things. That's called maturity. Do it. What we're doing today will not happen again. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. You understand? You give up a lot of rights by entering the disagreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never take this away. It will go on your record. It'll stay there forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense? I'll find you guilty. What do you do for a living, sir?
Oh, sure.
I have to suspend your license because of this, so I will suspend it for the minimum, which is 90 days. Don't drive until you get a license, otherwise you can be right back over here. How much money do you make a month, sir? On average. The reason I'm asking you is because there's some DPS fines and fees that you're gonna have to pay. It's a lot, but that's DWI, it's big business.
What is that?
You know, we give you 2 years to pay, so you have a lot of time to pay, but it's something that you'll be responsible for, you know?
So just like 2,500 average.
Sorry?
2,500 average.
I'll waive it for you now, Mr. Durham, but I want you to understand, if you come back with another DWI, first thing is, it's a minimum of 90 days. The next thing is, DWI surcharges on a first are $3,000. And then on top of that, court costs of around another $500. On a second DWI, you get a conviction, it's a $6,000 surcharge that you will have. So get ready. You pick up another DWI, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Do you understand? Okay. Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much, Judge. Let me excuse you.
Yeah, you can wait. All right. Good luck, guys.
Good morning, Judge. May I approach?
Yes. Who do we have here?
Mr. Tooney, George Tooney.
What's the last name?
Tooney, Toney.
Got it. Oh, so it never worked out.
Sorry,
On
Judge?
Mr. Tony, it never worked out. We never found him a place to go.
No, but we have an agreement for 45 days Harris County Jail, Judge. And the state's abandoning the enhancement.
So is it Tune or Tony? It's okay. Everything's fine.
Tony.
Tony. Okay. Mr. Tony, I want you to understand that something very serious is happening today. That you're pleading the time served on this so that you're getting out today. But you gotta have to understand that there's an affirmative finding of family violence. What that means is that if you ever pick up another case like this,
I never do that, sir.
but you know, judging by your history, you've been good for a while, you know, and it sucks that we're here now like this, you know. But one of the other things you have to understand also is that we're here to help. And when you pick up a criminal case, all you have to do is come back. And when you come back to court, good things happen. It shows that we can trust you, shows that we know that you want to help yourself, and good things happen. When you repeatedly take off on us, that tells us that you just don't care. Why would we care if you don't care? You know, it's not hard, you know, and we have people that call up here and say, hey, man, I can't make it. And we routinely say, okay, that's fine. We'll put you off for another week. Just come back. And when they don't show up that time, of course, we're going to issue a warrant because we're not going to do that over and over. But if you ever have an issue, you can always call, say, hey, I got an issue. 99% of the time, we'll let you go. We also have lawyers here to help you out too, so that when you have issues, talk to the lawyer, talk to us. We will help you out. So probation is probably not a good option, or what?
Probation wouldn't be a good option for him because he won't have transportation to and from probation nor money for fees And he's got two potential places to live, one with his sister and one with his employer. They have guys that stay in a room before they get ready to go to work, and that's what he's doing.
The other thing is this, Mr. Tony, if your sister is nice enough to allow you into her home, be nice. You know, who cares if she does something to make you mad? Who cares, right? If they're nice enough to let you in, and they may have rules, like we don't want you coming in at 2 a.m. all blasted, then listen. Because if not, that's when you end up on the street. We've got so many people here, they end up living in their cars, they live on the street, just because they don't get along with the person who's nice enough to give them a roof. Consider that. And if you get upset, find a release. But not a person, their head, that's not a release. Just be nice. All right, so Mr. Tony, you're charged with the assault of a family member. The agreement that you worked out is 45 days in jail. How much credit does he have, Melissa? 13 days credit. So understand that you'll be out of here tomorrow. But like I said, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. If you ever pick up another assault like this again, but you got to remember, time heals all wounds. You will forget about this, right? In 20 years, you're not going to remember this, but the law is a jealous mistress, and that she never forgets any of this. So you pick up another case like this, even so much as grabbing someone's arm and squeezing till it hurts, you're looking at 2 to 10 of the penitentiary.
Can't do that because I got a daughter.
And then that's what you think about when you get angry. Okay, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen?
All right.
Think about your daughter. You can never own a gun or ammunition as well. You understand? All right, you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you cannot change this. You understand? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, sir.
I will find you guilty. I'll follow the agreement. We wish you the best of luck, Mr. Tony. Just be nice, man. All right?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kavita.
There's my big
Bearing enhancement. Hey, Morgan, did you talk to the complaining witness in Bowman?
Yes, Judge.
Tell me.
I spoke with him. Conrad also spoke with him. He wants full contact.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have the protective order. I'll take off the residential restriction. And then no threatening or harassing. Okay. Ms. Bowman, come up, ma'am.
Judge, who is this on?
Emat-Tom. I haven't pulled him up yet, but this is, remember, he's representing him himself.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, I want you to understand that the state has spoken to the complaining witness and he would like to have further communication with you. So I am ordering you as a condition of your bond. Like I said, don't have any threatening or harassing contact and you're not to be in possession of any weapons. I don't know what kind of relationship. Come on up. So thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
So I am entering a protective order for you.
May I make a?
Don't.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just hear me out
Yes, sir.
because I don't want you guys to talk because I have a bunch of DAs here and everything you guys say is recorded.
I
You know,
understand.
can be used to, prove guilt. So this protective order is for you
Yes, sir.
so that she cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. Usually comes with a residential restriction, meaning that she's not allowed to go back to the place of where you guys live or where you go to work. I will amend that to allow her to go back, but I want you to understand, I don't know what kind of relationship you guys have, but if it's one where you're constantly butting heads, I would be very, very careful because if I get word that it continues to happen or something similar to this happens, I will revoke your bond and I'm going to put you in jail and I'm not giving you any more PR bonds. I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. And I don't care. We take you kicking to screaming into custody, but understand my first and foremost idea of Harris County is public safety. Do you understand? So like I said, what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what she thinks. I could give a rat's behind what you think or what you care. It's how he perceives it. So this going like this, that is threatening or harassing and can land you in jail. You understand? Okay, we will have you sign our bond conditions now. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer, and then we'll see you when you come back. Okay?
So amending the bond conditions, is that also going, are you amending the protective order as well?
Correct.
Okay, so the protective order will supersede anything, but that will have writing in it saying that we can cohabitate?
Everything in the protective order stays as far as no threatening or harassing. The only thing I'm taking off is a residential restriction so she can go back to the house. But everything in the protective order stays. And understand, ma'am, that if you violate it, they're going to file an additional case against you. So be careful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Please.
Where do I, okay, thank you very much.
Ready? Hi.
Morning.
Good morning.
From
Okay.
So.
I haven't heard anything lately, so I guess no news is good news, right?
Yeah.
No good. Do you remember Gary Gnu from Nickelodeon? No good news is good news. You remember? Whatever, you didn't know. Tell me.
We're gonna request this court if we can remove the ankle monitoring off of Mr. Chairez.
Why?
First and foremost, he's on the right track. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's got his TWIT card just came in. He's enrolled into the Thinking for Change class. He enrolled in the first available class, which started last week. It's a 3-month course. But also, they are looking for job opportunities, and which would possibly require him to go out of town with his father. And so I would just hate to him have an opportunity and then have to come back.
So he doesn't have a job yet?
Not yet.
I'll make you a deal. Once he gets a job, then yeah, come back. But just because he's looking, no. I want, come up, Mr. Chairez. Who is the complaining witness again? Morning, please.
What's her name?
The girl, Nicole? I think it's an ex-girlfriend. Her name is Nicole.
Okay, and understand that it's not just one violation report that we've had. We've had multiple violations with him. So that's why the case is only 74 days old. I have a problem you asking me to take the ankle monitor off when you've had 2 violations and the case is only 74 days old. So show me and be proactive that we can trust you out there in the free world and it goes far. You telling me that you're going to be good is in this ear and out that ear because I know what your conduct's like so far. If you get a job, that goes a long way because I know if your time is occupied with work, you're less likely to get in trouble because when people have too much time on their hands, they become self-destructive. Your mind is like a little mouse. It has to move. It craves attention. It craves things to do, challenges in life. That's a brain. And when you don't do anything and you sit on the couch all day, you tend to build up negative vibes, so to speak. You get a job and you continue with the thinking for change, come back and we'll talk. But I think the job is a great idea. And I think if you get a job, then that'll really go a long way. So yeah, do that and we'll talk.
And I just want to be clear, and I've notified the ADA about this as well with screenshots and evidence that the complaining witness has been trying to contact him and he has not. He has not.
Right.
I've the messages I forwarded, the phone calls, logs. I forwarded just to be clear to the court and transparent with
Can
the
you
court.
reach out to her and figure out what the heck is going on? Why on earth are you trying to do this? Are you trying to get him in trouble? Are you being obtuse? Really? Yeah, you're doing good. Don't answer it. Don't fall into the trap. There's a lot of vindictive people in this life that will try to bring harm to you. Don't fall for it. You're not supposed to have contact with her, and she may be trying to just get you in trouble. Who knows? Don't fall into that trap. You're doing great. Good. Yeah, I mean, the thinking for change goes a long way. Just get a job, and then we'll talk. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For sure. Okay, Mr. Sirens. Good luck, guys. We'll give you just a normal reset for now.
All right.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have two cases. The first one is Mr. Alvis Alexander.
Okay.
And he was here yesterday with his mother late, if you recall. And I believe he has to take a drug test, and he said he forgot to.
He was set on his last setting to drug test yesterday. When he came in, he didn't take one, but I think.
Did you not take one?
He didn't take one, but I.
Send him now.
Counsel to send him today.
We'll send him now.
He said he's gonna take it today. So I was gonna ask to roll it till tomorrow and see what the results are.
He's gonna come back again tomorrow then.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, send him now.
And my next case is Kareem Khalifa.
Okay.
And he is set for bail review, and he's asking to come out.
Okay, I'll talk to him. Just let me thin out the line and then we'll bring him out. Okay.
All right, Mr. Geary, come on over here.
Sina, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, absolutely, Your Honor. Sina, can you step on this side?
Yeah. All right. Good morning, Mr. Aguirre.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So it appears to me here that with us, July 26th, you picked up an assault of a family member. We asked you, just please behave yourself. Don't pick up any new cases, right? And it appears to me that you picked up quite a number of other cases. It seems like August 4th, you picked up an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. October 10th, you picked up 2 possession with intent to deliver is greater than 400 grams, which could be, are you representing him upstairs? Are those first-degree felonies? Looking at 5 to life on those cases, perhaps even a 15 to life case. And now somehow he's out on bond after all that.
Well,
And he picked up,
it was a high bond. It was a high bond.
but then he picked up an assault, impeding breath after that.
Well, I mean, his girlfriend in a situation.
Oh, no. I get,
We have the, yes, absolutely, yes.
after all
It sounds pretty
that,
bad. It's not as bad as it looks.
you picked up a felony choking case. I got to say that I think that you're a complete danger to the community, man. And we're on bond for our case. Bond was at $3,000. I'm now going to revoke that bond and just. I got to make it high, man. I think that you're a very, very, all we want our streets to be safe, man. And here you've picked up, 1. And he's on probation for a felony evading too. Caramba la bamba.
Well, one thing, Your Honor, during this last case, he was on GPS house arrest. Never violated it. This occurred not really out in the community. I'm just saying, he was at home when this young lady came over and discovered another young lady's things, et cetera, et cetera. But he never left the home. He followed his GPS conditions in house arrest to the T. And his mom was living in. The mom and the neighbor escorted the young lady out and forced her to leave finally. But nonetheless, she went to the police station and reported it. So we're hoping that we can have the 11B hearing on December 3rd. And
Yeah, I mean, you guys,
Right.
I get it. But
Absolutely.
with our case, I'm going to revoke his bond and I'm making it high. I
Sure.
think that you're a big danger to the community, man. So I'm revoking the bond. And I'm going to set it at $50,000 now. I mean, he's at no bond on all these cases upstairs.
Hopefully that gets resolved. We come back down and.
Sure.
Okay.
Always seen it.
Absolutely. I understand. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference right now because he's no bonded over there.
What I see here, I mean, it's like.
No, I totally agree, Your Honor. There's more to it though, for sure.
Always, and I get it. And then if it comes out and something happens on those cases, come back, talk, and then we can, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
You're very reasonable.
So I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So
This is Mr.
Damon,
Damon,
right?
Mrs.
Okay.
Thurman.
So Mr. Damon, they're telling me that you want to waive formal extradition. Is that right?
No, I'd like to sign. sir.
Sign for the 14 days, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to waive extradition on that case. That's what you want to do, sir?
Sign, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you are Mr. Thurman, correct?
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Thurman, I've never met you before. I don't know you. All I know is that you have picked up a case from out of state. And well, give me a second, and I will let you, but, here, so we're not disputing the underlying charge. We're not fighting it. None of that matters. What we really here are all about is identity, right? Are you this person? If so, how do we get you back to the jurisdiction that you're wanted from? So here it says that you are wanted from Michigan, Washtenaw, Michigan.
Washtenaw County, yes.
Yeah, Washtenaw County. And it says here that you're wanted out of there for armed robbery. So I know that you're going to tell me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods. It's not that big of a deal, yada, yada, yada. But my primary concern is public safety. We have enough death, dismemberment, and hysteria in Harris County as it is. And I don't want any more blood on my hands. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Shh. So your lawyer is asking me to set you a bond, and I don't know, because if you're a public danger, I'm gonna have a hard time doing it. Right?
Understandable, Your Honor.
Oh, Miss Chisholm's not even here.
She just jumped off because she was just up there.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Your lawyer's not here,
Okay.
so until your lawyer gets back, I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna bring you back out, but your lawyer's not here. I can't talk to you without your lawyer here. So I'll bring you back out here as soon as she gets back, and then we'll go right through the rigmarole again. Okay? Sorry, I didn't even realize she's not here. Okay.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Xavier Cruz is a new appointment. I know he went in for a UA. Well, he's telling me that he came back negative.
He did. They said that too.
Okay.
Yeah, come up, Mr. Where's Mr. Cruz? Come up. So, Mr. Cruz, you're 18.
Yes, sir.
You're in a car. Alex, did anyone else get arrested in this?
Your Honor.
Oh, so they charged him with the PCS, with the.
Yes, he does have a felony pending.
And there are no co-defendants in this, no other charges, no connected.
He's the only one.
He's the only one charged, Your Honor.
Wow. You realize that you're looking at 5 to life, minimum of 5 years in prison. You have any clue what they would do to you in prison, Mr. Cruz? Take a guess what they would do to you. Imagine your worst nightmare. It's worse. That's what you're charged with. So while you're out on bond, I would have a halo over your head, because if I find that you become a danger, if I find that you have a weapon, if I find that you hang out with any of these other people, I'm going to lock you up. You're not to have any contact with any of these other people that you're in the car with. Do you understand?
Sir.
Tell me what you're doing with yourself now in life.
Sorry, can you say that again?
What are you doing in life now?
Right now I'm looking for a job.
Did you graduate from high school?
No, sir. I would like to get my GED though.
I am now making that a condition of your bond that we start working on your GED immediately and that you get a job. You have way too much time on your hands, and you're now becoming self-destructive, as you see, with a 5 to life charge that you have sitting over your head. It's not going to happen. You're not to use alcohol or marijuana, and I'm going to test you like crazy. And if I find that you're using, I will put you in custody. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to start working on your GED. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. I'm going to give you sheets of paper now on how you can work on getting your GED free, so you don't have to pay money. So there's no excuse. You are not doing anything. So as soon as you get home today, you start working on how to get your GED.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And when you come back, if you've done nothing, as far as looking for jobs as well, you'll be working with me in custody. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Shatoria, do you mind printing me out those two, please? I have given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Antonio, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. He is a really good, hard, tenacious lawyer. So there's no excuse why you can't do well in this life. But I'm going to tell you now, we're not going to let the system fail you here. If you end up in custody, it's because you didn't do what you're supposed to do, and there's no excuse. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 2 weeks, I want to see you back here and show me what you've done to start working on your GED. And I want you to start filling out applications and start working.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. See you in 2 weeks.
All right, sir.
Hold on, Antonio, Shatoria has to give him paperwork for GED.
Judge Fleischer, how are you?
Hey, what's new?
We're on that Eaton, that pro se defendant, Mr. Eaton, to go with the discovery that he has come to look at. Our investigator has reached out to him. He's in the courtroom right now.
Are you talking about Mr. Emat-Tom?
Emat-Tom, yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get on the record because I don't want to do anything without being on the record. So, Mr. Emat-Tom, come on up.
We will be going on the record, so hold all conversations.
Mona, ready?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Today is time set for discovery. It is November 20th, 2024. It's approximately 11:49 in the morning. I'm going to have you guys announce yourselves for purposes of the record. Please state.
For the state, it's Amber Nathan and
Morgan Harmer.
Judge, hold on. Can you have him come over so that I can see him? Emery, right here. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. State it again.
Amber Nathan for the state.
Morgan Harmer for the state.
Emat-Tom.
So what we have here today is we have Mr. Emat-Tom. He is charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. I want to say today is our third setting or fourth. I think it's our fourth setting today. Mr. Emat-Tom has chosen to represent himself. I have done a Feretta hearing, found that he is and can represent himself. Mr. Emat-Tom, are you sure you don't want a lawyer to help you out? Do you want a lawyer to just sit standby to be able to answer any kind of questions? Okay, you still want to represent yourself. Understand that if anytime you would like a lawyer, I'm happy to provide you one at no cost to you that can advise you in any way that you may. So that is always at your disposal whenever you need it. At the last setting, we were working on discovery to see what was available. And the only thing, if I remember correctly, the only thing as way of discovery was an offense report that was in.
So Your Honor, the discovery is in, there is a video, there is a body cam and dash cam that's in. The state has tried to reach out to Mr. Emat-Tom to schedule a time for him to come in to review this discovery. It is the state's policy to not give this discovery out of the office to pro se defendants. He is here today. We can coordinate with our investigators for him to come and look at it, what we have. There is also a motion to suppress filed on the same transaction felony out of this, and that is scheduled for December 15th, I believe, or 9th.
December 12th is my next.
December 12th, okay.
December 12th.
Are you representing yourself in the felony case as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Lacayo did find him competent to do so, and we are having a suppression hearing on the 12th of December for that case.
Okay.
So if the evidence is suppressed, both cases would be resolved based on the search. Because unlawful carry is tied to our transaction, it is a commission of a felony offense. So if our case goes away, your case goes
Are
away.
you upstairs as well on his case
I'm on the
upstairs?
felony case, yes.
You're on the felony case. Okay, great.
I know the last time we was here, I did the suppressed evidence. Are they doing the misdemeanor and the felony together with the suppressed evidence? Because I emailed, I don't know if it's Anna or I have it on my email. I emailed Friday, tried to review the evidence, but I didn't get a response. I got a response to come tomorrow at 1:30. I didn't make it in town till yesterday night.
So the defendant emailed me on Friday and he asked, he reached out to review the evidence. I requested a cause number. He provided the cause number, and I sent on Monday at 7:20 a.m. Would tomorrow work to review the evidence? Please let me know if you have a preferred time. I'm available anytime after 1:30 p.m.
Here now, is it possible to do it now?
Let me
Or
coordinate.
perhaps later today, since he's here?
Let me go talk to our investigators, make sure they can supervise him, and.
You're here now.
Yeah.
I would, Mr. Emat-Tom, you're set for a suppression hearing, December 12th. You have, at a minimum, got to look at every single piece of evidence that's out there before you even go to your hearing. It would be a fool's errand to go to this hearing without looking at every shred of evidence that's out there, because you have to know what they have.
Yes.
And what they're going to use to prove, you know?
Last said, and they did go in the back room and let me see whatever was like the report that was typed up and everything. So
Yeah.
I was able to.
That's
take
just
some-
an offense report,
An
but here
offense.
he's saying there's body worn camera.
Body worn camera, there's another video as well that was uploaded as evidence. And then I believe there was an image of the stolen check. That was.
You want to talk to your investigator now, and
Yes, I can go
can you stay here and perhaps maybe like at around 2:00, meet them at the office and then go through all the evidence then? Is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that. I can.
You're here.
Tomorrow, I mean, yeah, I can do that now.
If
You might
tomorrow,
as well-
if you're want to come in tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
that gives us time, but he has to confirm with us, because ADA Harner has emailed him, and he has to make that call. Like, he can, I don't know, the body cam could be 4 or 5 hours of body cam, because there's multiple body cams. I don't know if our investigator is gonna stay till 7 o'clock to review body cam today.
That's a good point.
So
So why
if
don't
you're available tomorrow morning.
we do it tomorrow morning?
Yeah, that's fine. Also, are they gonna have the medical record for the hemp? Are they gonna have the?
So that is the one piece of evidence we're still waiting on, Judge, is the lab for the marijuana.
Check the charging instrument.
I'm telling you, it's based on it.
That takes a long time. Mr. Emat-Tom, it takes a long time.
Had the receipts from, because they had Montana Doyle that was claiming that. I do have the receipts, and she was my witness. Daddy said that she was claiming that. It said it in the report, so my witness could come and do the testimony or whatever.
But that's at the hearing.
Okay.
That's you do that at a hearing. You don't do that here as part of just evidentiary sharing, right? It's not, no one takes testimony now, no one decides.
That's when they said she could do it with the clerk. When I did have her here, they said that the clerk could.
You mean just filing an affidavit?
Or whatever she needs to do to say, you know.
I mean, I can't tell you, you're representing yourself. That's why you usually have lawyers that kind of guide you on how to get evidence admitted, what kind of evidence gets admitted. I can't give you legal advice and they can't tell you either.
Yeah, they said I could submit it to the clerk. That's what they said. The witness could come to the clerk and do.
Who is they?
Or
We didn't say that. All I said is that if you wanted to file an affidavit, yeah, something like that, but.
I could do that.
So can you talk to your investigator, see
Yes, I'm gonna do that
tomorrow, perhaps like at 9 o'clock in the morning?
fine. 9 o'clock.
So he goes at 9 o'clock. That way it's early. He can stay for as long as he needs to do it. And then if you guys can also provide me with an address of where he needs to go, what floor, perhaps give me a contact name and number just in case as well. So your investigator, that way, if he should have any issues, he has a contact to be able to speak to someone as well. Because if he tries to go through the regular phone system to talk to man, he'll be beating his head against the wall. Okay, so just hang tight with me, Mr. Emat-Tom. I'm gonna have him talk to the investigator, see what time, make sure 9 o'clock tomorrow is good. We'll find out where you need to go. We'll give you a sheet of paper with time, location, and a contact for you. You go review everything. Our case is now 11/20. Today's November 20th. Do you want to set it for after the suppression hearing, since you guys are going to do that over there?
And honestly, I don't even think that the marijuana was sent to the lab, Your Honor. So
I put in a lab request, Judge, myself. I'm not sure if the officers provided it, but I put in a lab request.
okay, if you put a lab request, like I don't know when the.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. If the officers aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Oh! You know how I feel about that. So how do you feel about that? We'll set this case maybe one day after your hearing upstairs on the 12th.
Yeah.
And like they said, if you win that hearing, this case goes away. If you don't win that hearing, then we'll deal with this case the day after and see how we move forward. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we're off the record. All right, so just hang tight for me. I'm gonna get all the information for you and then just look at everything that's out there. All right, got to, okay? Okay. All right, good luck, Mr. Emat-Tom. Jillian. Hey, yes.
I think I ended up moving him off docket, but, here.
Come up, Mr. Westbrook. So she told me that you checked in. How come you're out already? What happened?
Just 7 days. They released me after 7 days.
Was that a full 7 days?
That's how my insurance paid for.
No.
And they said, I went on Wednesday and I got out on the 19th, 13th to the 19th.
I hate freaking insurance. It's just, the insurance industry drives me freaking just nuts. It's just, don't use. I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using, I'm sending you for a test now. Don't use. You tested positive for marijuana. I'm going to test you again in about 45 days. If you test positive for marijuana, it's not going to go well. Don't use any pills. Don't use alcohol. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to send him for a drug test now. And then assuming he's clean, we'll just give you, I guess, a normal setting. If he's dirty, we'll have him come back tomorrow and we'll deal with it. But
Okay, now he just had a positive, what, a week ago? So,
I'm not going to, marijuana, if he tests positive for that now, we know that's already there. I'm not going to do anything. But if after 40 something days, you still test positive, that tells me that you're still using. No.
No problem.
You got it? Okay. You have to stay in touch with Jillian. She'll tell you how to handle this case. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you, again, a warrant issues. Don't pick up any new cases and just be good. Don't use. We're not asking for much. Okay.
thank you, Your
Thanks.
Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Scott, that's Briggs for a plea,
Okay.
and Mr. Khalifa for Mr. Elick right behind him.
Coming up, guys.
Come on up.
Oh, we got it.
I'm gonna talk to you, but let him finish first.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 90 days in jail with credit for the 27 that you've already done.
Should be. Okay.
Yeah.
That was 29, but.
You should be 29.
Really? Look at that.
But I was told because it's.
Going to bat for you. That's pretty cool. DA is going to bat for you, man. That's good. What?
27.
It's been 27 since October 25th, but he was initially taken in on the 7th, in July for the same charge. It was no PC and then refiled.
Okay. I'll give him 29.
Thank you.
Not a problem. All right. So, Mr. Scott, but regardless, you have to understand that it's going to go on your record. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. So if you ever pick up another one of these cases in penitentiary, have you been to the pen before? Yeah. Next time you pick up a serious felony, it could be a 15 to life case. If you've been,
If I may, just so the court is aware, and I explained to him the ramifications, he is on parole currently for the enhancement.
Sometimes, a woman is like a piece of cancer. She'll kill you, dude. She'll absolutely kill you. How can someone get into your head so much, twirl you up so much that you lose control, no matter how small it is, to where you end up in a box for the next 3 months? Not only that, it's very possible they revoke your parole, send you back to prison now. So many other fish in the sea, just go find another release, because life's too short to live in and out of custody. You know what I mean? This applies to you, Mr. Khalifa, as well. How are you going to let someone get into your head so much so, you cut the cancer out before it kills you. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. So how do you plead to the offense of assault family member? You also have to understand, because you're on probation or parole, this could be used to revoke that. It could result in further confinement. Is this what you want to do? You sure? Okay, man. I'm gonna find you guilty. I'll send you to 90 days in jail. Is it enhanced, Greg? Do you know?
It is with a felon in possession of a weapon.
Is it true that you had that felon in possession? Okay, true to enhancement. Mr. Scott, come on, man. Life's too short. Mr. Ely, thanks, Greg.
Your Honor, I'm approaching for on bail review for Mr. Khalifa.
You know, Mr. Khalifa, I know that you're telling me these things, but we have the complaining witness that has been calling, saying that she's terrified.
Can I say something, if you don't mind?
Okay. But remember, everything that you say, they can use it against you. Don't. Did you want to say something?
Oh, Judge, I mean, I've already kind of explained to you the continuous contact and bond violations that have been occurring. I think it's important to note that this individual had 3 warrants out at the same time. He failed to appear, obviously for the misdemeanor. For the felony, his warrant was sent out for violation of bond, violating the exclusion zone. I received calls nearly every day from the complainant telling me how scared she is, that he is continuously trying to contact her. He's canceled her credit card. He is trying to call her from blocked numbers. He is continuously violating his bond. He has stated himself that he does not care about the protective order.
I would object to hearsay, Your Honor. I know he didn't come to court. He has been sick with diabetes.
Can I say something, sir?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, as the same day I have a court, I was here, by the way, and I
No, you weren't.
Sir, can you give me second, Judge, if you don't
Sure.
mind? I wasn't here in the building. I was here around this area. My blood sugar.
Doesn't count.
Can I say something? I talked to the sheriff to take me to the court. He told me just to keep going and the bark is there and to go. I feel down, my blood sugar was so high until like maybe I get up. Some people, they broke my door to open it because I'm diabetic, the very bad condition. When I get up, I don't know what time, it was like 4:30. I show up at the court here, they told me it's already done. Come back Monday. When I come back Monday with my other attorney for the felony, you know what? They told me it's closed today, the court. So you don't have to be there, just to be patient until like we give you court. So I wasn't Skype, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I will say they haven't brought him here the past 2 days.
Can I say something also too? Yesterday I have a court here, right? During my way to the court and I am in jail, right? What happened to me? They took me to the hospital for my bad condition. 7 hours, they try to reduce my blood sugar. 3 times they give me insulin, it's still high. They refuse to send me to the court. This is my condition, sir.
They want to make sure that before they bring you to court, you're in a good
See what I'm
condition.
talking about now? I'm not lying, sir. So why I escape if I have a court?
You weren't here.
Exactly, because my bad condition.
How do I know that?
What I argue you right now, to waive the bond, the fees.
Regardless, you don't come to court.
I told you what happened, sir.
How do I know that?
I just explained to you.
Do you know how many people tell me the sky's purple?
I'm not lying, sir. Because I'm very sure, even yesterday I have important court, I cannot make it, and I am here already.
Your Honor, his bond has been denied on the felony, so
You
even
see?
if you did lower it, he still
You see what
won't be
I'm
able to
saying?
get out unless they.
Exactly.
Felony court has revoked your bond and you're at zero bond.
That's zero.
Even if I were to tell you, look, go, be fancy, be free, your felony court has made you no bond. So there's nothing that we can do at this point anyway.
No, just to waive the fee. And I have another thing about what she was telling you, sir. Yeah, I have the approval. All of this is a scam, by the way, because I'm the one who got message, very scary message.
I would like to know, do you have, other than her word, any kind of documentation, any kind of evidence to show that he is violating conditions of his bond? Because I would like to see it. Because I would like to show it to Mr. Khalifa if in fact you have something.
Correct.
I have screenshots from the complaint, so if I may kind of explain, it's a little complex. So
Don't
they're still
interrupt,
legally
finish.
married, they're still legally married, they're on the same insurance plan.
We are not in an insurance plan. We are not legally married. I apply for
You-
divorce. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let them talk. I will have to pull you out of
Okay,
this
I'm so
court
sorry. I'm not
if you
gonna
don't
talk
wanna
no
do
more.
that.
I promise you. I'm not gonna talk no more.
Control
I promise you.
self. This tells me if you're incapable of controlling yourself, this tells me a lot about you.
Just because my bad, the blood.
Stop.
I'm not talking no more.
So the two are still legally married, that shared an insurance plan. While he was on bond, he called to amend it to raise the rate and then have all of the money for the insurance plan taken out of her account. Now, that would only be permissible, obviously, by one of the holders of the plan. She did not do it. I have screenshots of that from her judge. I have a lot of evidence that she's sent me, provided me. I understand that it's hard for you to believe if it's like block numbers. I understand your hesitation with that.
Show me. I mean, if you have block numbers, if you have 50 block numbered calls, that's something, because that's not something that would normally happen. Well, I get a lot of calls from like scammers and crap, right? But I mean, if you get 50 block calls in a very short amount of time, I know that's Morgan, you don't have to do it just this very minute, right? But I would like it like really, really soon.
Absolutely.
And what I want to come back within maybe a day or two, and I'm going to show him, look, this is what we have. This is what we don't have. If we don't have anything, then, but I understand if she's scared, but show me the money. I want to see what you have. Just,
Can we move it till Friday? And then
Sure, of
if
course.
if the state can send that to me too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I want to know why is she so scared? Why? You're itching to say something else. What did you want to say?
Remember when she said I destroy her car?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
We're not getting it.
I want to see the video.
Okay.
You will.
The video has been uploaded and shared.
You will.
Okay.
And everything that they have, you will get to see.
But you promised me you dismiss it if I didn't touch her car?
I'm not going to promise you.
I
What are
didn't touch
you
her
crazy?
car.
I can't dismiss something.
I did not touch it.
Okay.
If that is the fact, then the evidence will point to whose side is correct. I don't know.
Just stand by her mirror.
But you have to understand that it takes time to get evidence.
understand.
And we will get it. And as soon as Mr. Ela gets it, he's going to show it to
Just
you.
argue for the bond, make
Okay.
it reduce.
We're gonna come back.
First
on
talk to
Friday.
felony court because you're at no bond over there. And then if you get something in felony court, come back and we can talk.
Your Honor, do you want to move this case to Friday or?
Yeah. Whatever you want. I mean, if you want to tomorrow, Thursday, whatever you want, I'm happy to do.
I see you put videos on YouTube on me.
I don't.
Yeah, you show it to me
I live
yesterday.
stream so that the whole world gets to see
You're
how.
being famous, me and you now.
Okay.
No, I'm just.
Mr. Scott. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. See you Friday.
Take care. Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Hey, wow, you came down.
I did.
Wow.
Order in the court, please.
Pleasure to have you. All right.
Back again, Judge.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit more.
Guess who's back?
Yes, Judge. So I did speak with Mr. Kalechi, which is Ms. Udo's son, and he is willing to post a bond, and we did come to an agreement. It being a child support case, Mr. Kalechi has another sibling. Both of those children are Ms. Udo's kids. But it looks like what happened was they moved to be with Ms. Udo after their father had absconded. What she did not do was file a motion to modify. And when that doesn't happen, everything stays the same. So even
Well,
though
that's what I was trying to impart to her.
Yes.
Like, if you start living with one of the child that you're paying support, you need to let the court know so they can stop making you pay for support. And they make the other person pay for support.
And this did not happen. And so, I mean, I would assume, me being family law, most times, especially when a mother gets their kids, they're excited to have their kids. So they don't care about what the court has to say. They just keep living their lives. This is what happened. And so when the garnishment stopped, it stopped because the kids hit 18. So typically garnishment will not continue
right.
until
I
after
mean,
they
that
hit
makes
18. And now the youngest, I believe, is 25. The oldest is 32, if I'm not mistaken, from what I spoke with Mr. Kalechi. 26, sorry. So that's kind of what has happened. And even the children are kind of worried about, they don't know what's going on, but they do know that it's something that happened in Michigan and they want to help her take care of it. So both of her children are well-to-do kids. She did a great job training them.
What does that mean, well-to-do?
As in, they both have really good jobs. And so they're willing and able to help mom out of the situation.
I guess more specifically, they're able to help pay the bond and secure transport back to Michigan, which was my concern. But I had a
Yes.
secondary concern.
I mean, I have a concern that she's trying to go to Nigeria.
That was my
He
secondary.
had the same concern as well.
So want to do the same thing I did with the Mexico yesterday,
Yeah.
is that I would move to have her surrender her passport to Melissa until she takes care of the warrant. And so that's what they're trying to figure out right now, is the son's trying to go to the belongings, right, the son?
Yes, the son is trying to go.
And I'll set her a bond if she surrenders the passport, so I know that she's not
I
gonna take
will
flight.
surrender it.
So, I mean.
I won't
I'm-
argue against it
I
then.
don't know how late Melissa will be here.
Well, we can always roll it to tomorrow as well, you know? It's
If-
already noon.
Well, they're
It
trying
is-
right
it is
now, that's what I
already
mean, is
noon.
like, as we speak, they're trying to figure out if they're able to get the
The,
passport.
the problem is when she did get picked up, we don't know if HPD has a passport or if it's still in her belongings. So the son is going through her belongings to make sure it's still there.
How did Paria get the passport?
Oh, they went to the evidence room, because it depends on whether it's HPD or the sheriff's office that makes the arrest.
Paria had the same issue yesterday, and she was able to get the
Yeah,
passport from the evidence room. I
Okay.
don't know how, because I don't see a motion that was filed
No,
for her to
you
get
know,
it.
And I don't know, how they release to whomever.
Because usually you would need like a power of attorney, wouldn't you?
Your Honor, if it's actually held in our property that it was on them, they were arrested, it's basically like a driver's license. The individual can actually sign a form, thumbprint it, and it releases all their property over to that family member.
There you go.
There you go.
So that, okay.
But once
I
you
didn't
get
know
it,
that.
I'll set a bond.
So you want the passport first and then set in the bond?
Yeah, if I set a bond now, she's gonna make the bond, she can, go. I have to first get the passport first, right? Because then if I set a bond now, there's no incentive for her to get the.
Okay, is there a
That's
way,
exactly what we did yesterday.
is there a way that we can find out if HPD has it?
I wouldn't, I mean, in terms of the property, I can call in, but I don't even. know where it's
Who is
at.
the arresting agency? That's what we need.
HPD.
But I don't know where, when, because I don't have the office report. When it's a fugitive case and there's no other corresponding criminal case, I don't know if it was, I don't know what area, I don't know where to call. I can start blindly
Do you
calling.
know
but I
Paria?
just-
I'm sorry?
Oh, she's in Spain now.
Yeah, she's in Spain. I would be very hard pressed to believe that she's gonna respond to.
Perhaps Paria Raifi, perhaps send her an email. Maybe she'll reply. She's in Spain now. So she zoomed in yesterday and was able to somehow get the passport. And I was gonna suggest talking to her.
Okay.
But I mean, we can, do you want me to hold off saying, do you wanna go tomorrow or do you want to hold off? and see if we can get
If we do roll till tomorrow and we still, and are we able to set up on later on today, or do we have to wait till tomorrow? Give me
Depends on how long
give me
you're
about 15 minutes. Let me call him. Is that okay, Judge?
I'm jetting within 45 minutes.
Okay,
I'm
10
down,
10 minutes.
I mean,
Let me
I'm
call.
downstairs, so for me. it
I'll
doesn't
email
really-
you if
And I
anything.
can set a bond here up until what?
So for right now, I'll carry it over unless I hear something from you.
Got you.
And then I'll.
Sounds good. I'll call him in a second, see if he finds it.
We'll probably need a waiver withdrawal
And we
too.
have Mr.
Does
Thurman.
she, oh, that's if,
I gotta
yes,
talk to him.
I mean, I can do that now if you want, for the waiver withdrawal now, or if you want to wait until tomorrow. 'Cause she
Oh,
waived, so if she wants a bond set, regardless, she's gonna have to withdraw her waiver.
I got you.
So we can do it tomorrow at the same time as passport surrender, because that's to be in person anyway. So-
I got you. Let's do it tomorrow. I'll be up here tomorrow.
And then she still has Thurman.
I still have Mr. Thurman. I was walking in when I,
Well, let me talk to them and then we'll bring Thurman up.
sounds good.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
Hey,
First, Mr. Cavazos.
okay. Cavazos. Come on up.
Otherwise, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Cavazos. Sir, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you a 6-month deferred adjudication.
Yes, sir.
Are you on something, man?
Oh, I'm tired from work.
They're offering you a 6-month deferred where as part of the condition, it will be $1,000 restitution to a Duran. Is it a Mr. or Mrs. Duran? Do you know?
So
I don't want to say it online, that's why. To a Miss Duran. An effective decision-making class, 12 hours of community service, no threatening, harassing, abusive contact with a Mr. Michael and a Miss Duran as well. You have a Texas driver license.
No, I don't.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Cavazos?
General labor at a warehouse.
When did you work last?
Yesterday. From 7 to 5.
You can barely keep your eyes open, man.
Very tired, man. We're picking up 60-pound sacks of cornmeal, 300 bags.
And Mr. Kavos, I've been speaking with him yesterday and today, and he's been cooperative and ready to finish this case. He's actually here with his mom and dad as well. I think he is just tired. He's been here since 8:30. So.
You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility. Do you understand? If you have a drug and alcohol problem.
No, no.
If I test you right now, what are you going to test positive for?
Nothing.
I want to send it for a drug test right now.
I'm gonna take the plea.
Yeah, we're going to take the plea, but I'm sending it for a drug test right now as well. And I'm going to tell you now, I have kept people on probation for 3 years to get them to pay restitution. I expect you to pay restitution. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take a seat for me. Dude, he can't even keep his eyes open, Jillian. I'm sending him for a drug test right now. Jillian, do you have another one?
I do. He's in custody though, but I can, first one to reset also.
Hey,
Mr. Cortez.
we can do your plea now if you want.
It's,
Romero.
Yeah.
But while we're waiting on him, on Mr. Cortez, he's asking for another few days to get his 2 classes done. He just has to do effective decision
Here,
making and.
it's on, is it under Cortez? I don't see it.
Oh, sorry, Batista Cortez.
What is all does he have to do?
He has decision-making class and I think it's like anger management. I sent him the links last month and he just asked me, really, he literally asked me for 24 hours, but I'm asking for a week.
Yes, Judge, he has to do effective decision making as well as driver safety course.
When did you give this offer?
This offer was given on the 15th of October.
When I texted him the links.
Okay, I'll give you the week.
Thank you, sir.
If
Thank
he
you, Judge.
doesn't have it done though, tell him I'm bringing it back day for day until he gets it done. Okay?
Will do. And this is on Mr. Romero. Actually, sorry, Judge. Let's hold off on this. Yes, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, we were gonna do the plea, but then I told him, let's try to see if I could roll him to when Michael gets back, because he just got extended on his probation upstairs. I found out the last minute that he's actually going to safe P. So I would rather Michael say no to dismissing it before we actually plea him, and he's 19. So I said, I'd rather roll him and just get a no from Michael if it's gonna be no. 18, he's 18. Yeah, we had it ready and then I changed my mind the last minute, then I forgot
Is
that I
this
changed my
a
mind.
violation he's had upstairs? Do you know?
I don't know. Have you been revoked before?
Oh, on probation?
Yeah.
No, oh no, I don't know.
So you got on probation in June of this year.
But the DAs here can't give me an answer and the chief
Do
next
you
door.
have, you're 18 years old. Have you been to prison before?
No.
Mr. Romero, do you want to take a guess what in God's name they would do to you in prison? You have had already in September, you get on probation. 3 months later, they file a motion to revoke your probation. They keep you on your probation. They extend, or they did whatever they were going to do. And now 2 months to 3 months later, you're back yet on another revocation. Do you have any clue what they would do to you in prison? You and your 18-year-old self. Do you know what they do to 18-year-olds in our Texas prisons? Take a guess what they do to 18-year-old kids in prison. Take a guess. I read stuff that had me damn near in tears because it was so bad what they do to certain people when they go to Texas prison in Huntsville. They literally treat you like a freaking rag doll, pass around like it's a freaking cigarette. You are chattel, meaning a piece of property. That's only the half of what they do to little young children in Texas prisons. You have now are on your second motion to revoke. It's only a matter of time before they say, you know what, this little dude don't get it. Let's send his ass to prison for 3 years. When that happens, you'll be crying for mommy and daddy. And if you don't believe me, start asking the people in jail. They'll tell you. I'm happy to roll it whatever you want, Jillian.
Let's do that. Thank
If
you,
you want to
Judge.
do a week, 2 weeks,
Okay,
whatever you
that's-
want.
That's
But
fine.
get a clue before it becomes too late and you become a piece of chattel. Okay.
All right, sir. Oh, that's okay.
Mr. Thurman, you're back. Okay. So I told you before, two of my main concerns are, or my two main concerns are, number one, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction that where you're wanted from? And number two, most importantly, are you a danger to my public? I take public, safety. It's as important as my hair. You know what I mean? It's that important, right? Because I don't want anything to happen out there with my name attached to a bond. I try everything in my power to ensure that everybody's protected. And I see that you're wanted for a really serious case. It's an armed robbery, right? I mean, that's what you're wanted for. There's no denying it. That's what it says on the paperwork.
He's on lifetime probation in Michigan.
Lifetime, there's such a thing as lifetime probation.
There is.
Yes.
Whoa.
So that Kate, well, I'll let you do the talking.
No, he did his time and he got out and lifetime probation out of Michigan. So that's what's happened. I believe it got.
So how on what would, aside from like a murder case,
So he was
what
charged
would
with
garner?
murder twice, along with 2 armed robberies.
I wasn't charged twice for no murder.
It just shows up.
It just shows up
Oh, I
twice.
was about to say, I wasn't charged
Murder
twice.
along with armed robbery or aggravated robbery in our jurisdiction. He's placed on probation. Since that time, he's been charged in our jurisdiction with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and felon possession of a weapon. In those, he had bond conditions when it started off, where he was ordered to have a GPS monitor. He has had multiple curfew violations on top of that noted. And so I do believe he's a safety risk, because even with literally an ankle monitor, he doesn't follow court conditions. And so I believe he is a safety and flight risk. And the fact that there was a weapon involved with multiple witnesses, some of them children, him threatening to murder them, is that I would be opposed to a bond being set. Also, it should be noted that because of the way the probation was transferred, I can't confirm, so I can't approach on it yet. But from what I see on the system is that he moved the probation to Texas, which means there's an ICA, but I don't have the documents, which is why I can't present them. If there's an ICA hold, he's ineligible for a bond, because that's an ICA hold. I don't have it, which is why I can't say, but if I get the documents.
Interstate compact agreement.
I understand. May I speak, Your Honor? Of course. Okay. After, we talking about the probation, I'm at the probation, the GPS curfew wise, my judge knows all that was going on. So he knows every information, why I've been late. I have evidence of why I'm late. So he knows everything that's going on with my GPS.
You're not supposed to be late.
He knows why though. So
I understand.
that. That's why he overlooked. He said, okay, it's fine. So he said it was fine.
Quick question, is it a motion to adjudicate?
Well, no, it's still an open case. It's not under probation, but you're just asking if they do a bond violation report. They did on November 1st, 2024. They filed a motion to revoke.
Oh, so it's recent.
It's very recent.
So they've not
this month.
heard, okay, and then so there's not been there's not been a hearing on that yet, right?
No. But that's even after they amended the order. Also, he has further bond violation reports on December 18, 2023, another one on November 28, 2023, and that's after they amended it twice. One moment. So he seems to be agreeing with this. So the fact that he has 3 violations on top of having lifetime probation and a possible ICA, obviously, I'm still opposed for him.
Why are you on lifetime probation?
That's the way they set it up as. I took the plea deal.
What are you on probation for?
The armed robbery, conspiracy committing armed robbery. I did 5.5 years, came home off lifetime probation. And to continue what I'm saying, I'm a threat to, a flight risk. I can't be a flight risk. Every court that they set, I came every single time. Every court that Michigan have set, I flew out there every single time. I knew I was getting locked up Monday. They told me that Thursday, I still showed up to court and got locked up. So there's no flight risk in this whatsoever if I've been showing up every single time.
And you may be showing up, but at the end of the day, you continue to do what you want to do without regard to bond conditions.
And what do you mean by that, Your Honor?
Meaning that they put you a GPS monitor, and they give you a curfew.
Yes.
And you don't abide by the curfew.
I was working, Your Honor. That's why the judge has extended, because they had my probation curfew time I forgot what time they had as. But I had started my new job because I came, got locked up, lost my other job. He said, okay, the violation he's talking about, I came into court and talked to the judge, and he extended my curfew. He was like, okay, you've been working. I said, yes, I have documentation of new work. So I'll show all my documentation, and he said, okay. So the stuff he's mentioning violations for, they're already been taken care of. So he's not stating that either. He said 2023 is, obviously I'm still free, right or wrong. I'm still free. That means he's seen all the paperwork. Obviously, I came with legit paperwork.
And that's kind of where I was coming from at it. If it's a lifetime probation and it's curfew violations that he's still out, my speculation would be that he was able to make an explanation to the judge, and that's why he's not been revoked. So he's still here. As to the underlying charge, it's still a charge and that's what it is. Like he said, he turned himself in on Thursday knowing that he was going to get arrested and held. And so I'm sure that Michigan it's a probation violation because of the underlying charges. And plus that's where that MRP is probably coming from. I believe he's proven time and time again that he's gone to Michigan, taking care of what he needs to take care of. And he will still be here he's been on bond on the underlying case for about a year. Your Honor, he's not been locked up this whole time up until this recent arrest. So, and at this point in time, this is really just for since we don't have proof of an ICA, if the judge is willing to set a bond, how much that would be, if there's a willingness to set a bond.
Let me read this to you.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Texas Code of Criminal Procedure 17.03. NLR, out of state Michigan, armed robbery, armed robbery with a conspiracy, 2021. Probation transferred to Texas 3/20/21. Concurrently charged with murder, which was dismissed. No holds. Defendant is not indigent, and defendant is alleged to have gone to complaining witness's home and pointed a gun at complaining witness and complaining witness's 3 children, because one of the complaining witness's children was involved in a dispute with defendant's sister at the child's school. Defendant threatened to kill, quote unquote, everyone in the home. Defendant then left complaining witness's home and came back with defendant's father, both ready to fight complaining witness and complaining witness's wife. That's the aggravated assault that we have now. So, knowing that you're on lifetime probation for a very serious case, you know that you're supposed to be out there with a halo over your head. And yet you pick up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon where allegedly a gun is pointed at kids. I mean, the way your mannerisms,
I would say something, y'all, that's why.
but don't though. You have this open case.
Understandable.
Everything they can say, they can use it against you. My concern is public safety, man. And you got to understand that I don't know if you're guilty of this offense or not, but the problem is bad stuff keeps happening to you for some reason. It's like somehow, sometimes people are their own worst enemy. They get out and then something happens and then they just end up picking up another charge. It's like a cold. You pick up another charge, you pick up another charge here, you pick up another charge there, you don't follow bond conditions here. You know, Mr. Thurman, you scare me, man.
Yeah, I scare you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And I've been out for a whole year since this case happened, and this is my first time being into this courtroom again, and you're fearful whose safety if I've been doing nothing but right and working.
That's not true.
That has been true. I've been out for a year on bond and have not been into this no courtroom, but in Orange Jumpsuit, I should say. Your
I
courtroom,
mean,
anybody's
you want
courtroom.
me to reward you for
I'm
being a
saying,
good
but you say you're
person?
in fear. You say you're in fear for safety. That's what I'm saying. Like, who
Yeah.
are you in fear of? I have not been into
You're-
any trouble whatsoever. I've been squeaky clean. Just I bond it out.
And Your Honor, to
You
your,
don't get rewarded for being a good person out there. You know what I mean?
I
You're
understand
supposed to be like that anyways.
I understand that wholeheartedly, Your Honor. I'm just saying, when you say you fear, and I'm saying, how are you in fear if I've not been doing anything? That's showing you, that should show you some type of sign, like, okay, he's not been doing anything wrong. So where is the fear come to play? That's what I'm asking you.
The fear is really because, you know, when people come here, it's little bunnies jumping in the woods, rainbows, gumdrops. And then when they get out there, they turn into different people. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't want that. Like, I don't want someone out there to suffer because we let you out. I let you bond out. You've got an armed robbery, you've got an ag assault. You continue to violate conditions on those bond, right? That shows me that you're not willing to abide by bond. I mean, quite frankly, you're lucky to even be out on those charges with the ankle monitor, and you continue to violate.
And Your Honor, you keep saying violate, like, if I was in violations they have on file, by the way. Those have been taken care of. Once again, you keep on saying violations, but they took care of. The felony court judge seeing I have proven, what's the word I'm looking for? Just proven, facts that this is why I'm late. I have a new job. I got fired because I got arrested from the other job. So I started a new job. For me having a felony in my position, and just call it what it is, a young black man with a felony, it's hard for me to get a job anywhere. So the jobs I do get, I take up on those. So it's hard. Any shift they open up for me, I'm going to take it and show my work ethic to them. So I let the judge know that. He sees that. He understands, like, okay, that's why you keep on bringing up violations. I have to work. I have to eat. I have to have a house to live in, like anybody else here. So you keep on bringing that up. I'll keep saying, I already talked to the judge about it. He granted it already. He let it go. That's why I'm still free to this day. Well, was free to this day. And you keep bringing that up. You saying threat to your fear, which is understandable. Everybody gonna have fear, but I have not been into any trouble. I've been working. I've been working for a whole year. I've been on my P's and Q's. And like you say, the police report that you're reading, sir, the case is still open, so I can't really speak on it. I'm pretty say much, but it's a lot more to what you're just reading on that police report. It's always gonna be video cameras and house ring cameras, body footage. It's gonna be a lot more other things that you're not gonna be able to read off a police report, which is understandable.
Just too much blood, Mr. Thurman. I'm sorry. I can't set you on. It's just too much. I'm sorry. Hey, this isn't.
Do not walk away.
This isn't.
I said, okay, it's fine.
Really, I understand that you're hurt, Mr. Thurman, but look.
I've been doing my best, Sean. And y'all sit here telling me I'm the bad guy, and I've been doing nothing but my best of my abilities, working, staying out of trouble. And you're a threat, and I'm a threat to society. Really, for a whole year, I've been out, and they just not issue a warrant for me just now, recently. And I come to turn myself in, and I'm a threat to society. And people, you fear me for what? I'm turning myself in and show you that I'm not running for nothing. I'm not running for anything. I'm innocent, and I'm coming to show you I'm innocent by turning myself in. But y'all are a threat. You can let go of me, sir. You
Stop.
can let go of me.
You do not tell me how to do my job.
You can let go of me. You got my arm too tight.
Guys, relax, relax.
I'm too tight. All I said, grab me. Look how you grabbing me up.
Back up.
Look how they grabbed me. I said you let me go a little bit.
You gotta calm down.
I'm calm. I just
You
asked him a
not
question.
calm.
I asked him a question. You let me go a little bit, sir. That's all I said.
Open the door.
That's all I said. When you make somebody cuss you out or anything. You said I'm all tight. You just look. You know what I'm saying?
So he already waived, so if he
He
just
did.
holds it, then it's.
Just, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
I'll go talk to him, but once again, Judge, understandably, I think I know that he's frustrated, I believe.
I understand, I get it, and I would be too, but I can't, that's just too much blood. It's too much, you know.
It looked like there was.
Even, you know what I'm gonna tell you, even if he didn't have those bond violations, I'd still be very hard pressed to even, you know. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff to do as well. Have a wonderful day. We love you and see you tomorrow.
Well, kids, that's another Fleischer Forum in the bags for us. Been fun. Thanks everybody for coming out. It's been a blast. Chat's been great. You know how it goes. We do these little get-togethers every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. Come by and hang out with us. We do it every single night. Judge Fleischer has a docket. Judge Fleischer has a docket just about every single day. I anticipate he'll be having a docket tomorrow. So, henceforth, yet, to and forth, we shall have another one of these tomorrow. I have spoken and professed, and I do say good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I am always blessed to have your company. To infinity and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast tonight. I've had a lot of fun. You guys make this worth it. I'm gonna let the music play out, and we'll be done with this one. We'll stick a fork in it, because this stream is done, ladies and gentlemen. I am your Lone Wolf Usul. I'm your curator for these videos. I am your big old dork, and I am out of here.